You are losing her attention right now, and you do not even realize it. Not because you said something wrong, but because you tried too hard already. This is the dating secret most men will never understand about attraction. You think attraction is about confidence, lines, or saying the perfect things. But that belief is exactly what quietly destroys your chances every single time. Picture this. You are sitting across from her in a busy coffee shop. She smiles, you start talking, and everything feels normal at first. Then something shifts. Her energy changes, and you cannot explain why. You keep talking, trying harder, thinking you can fix it with better words. But the more you try, the more distant she becomes without saying anything. This is where most men panic, overthink, and slowly lose control completely, because they believe attraction is built through words, logic, and performance. But what if I told you that none of that actually matters here? What if the real reason she pulls away has nothing to do with conversation and everything to do with something happening underneath the surface right now? So if words are not the problem, then everything you learned is broken. You were told confidence wins, jokes work, and charm builds instant attraction. But you have seen confident guys fail, while quiet ones win effortlessly. You followed dating advice, memorized lines, yet still felt something missing inside. Because attraction is not built the way most viral dating tips claim. It is not about what you say, but what you signal underneath. Your brain focuses on words, but her brain reads something much deeper. And that deeper layer reacts faster than logic, faster than your thoughts. Science calls this subconscious evaluation, where emotional cues decide everything instantly. You cannot negotiate it, you cannot fake it, you cannot out-talk it. This is why overthinking kills attraction before the conversation even starts. The more you try to impress, the more you expose hidden insecurity, and that signal spreads faster than anything you say out loud. So every move you make either raises your value or lowers it silently. And the worst part is, most men never notice this happening. So if you cannot control it with words, something else is deciding everything. Think of it like a radar, running silently every second she looks. The moment you speak, that radar lights up and begins scanning you. It does not analyze your sentences, it reads your emotional state instantly. It asks one question only: are you above her or beneath her value? And the answer is not what you say, but how you behave. Picture that same coffee shop moment, but now slow everything down carefully. You lean forward slightly, waiting for her reaction after each sentence spoken. You laugh a little too early, hoping she mirrors your energy back. You explain yourself more, trying to sound interesting, intelligent, and attractive. To you it feels normal, but the radar reads something completely different. It reads neediness, approval seeking, and a subtle fear of losing control. That signal hits before your words even reach her conscious awareness. Neuroscience shows emotional cues are processed faster than logical language patterns. So by the time she replies, the decision is already forming subconsciously. You think attraction grows over time, but it actually locks in early. And once that radar places you lower, every action reinforces that position. But here's the part almost no one ever teaches you properly. The only thing that radar cares about is your position in that moment. Not your job, not your looks, not your clever lines or stories. It measures one signal only. Do you need her approval right now? The moment you seek validation, your perceived value drops instantly without warning. And the moment you feel grounded, your value rises without saying anything. This is why two men can say the same words, different outcomes happen. One speaks freely, the other calculates every sentence before saying anything. The radar reads tension, hesitation, and subtle fear behind controlled behavior. That emotional leakage exposes everything you try to hide under confidence. And once that signal is detected, attraction begins to collapse quietly. Now flip the situation. Imagine you genuinely do not need her reaction. You lean back, speak slower, and allow silence without feeling uncomfortable. Suddenly the dynamic shifts. She begins filling the space you leave open. Because uncertainty creates curiosity, and curiosity pulls attention toward you naturally. And this is the uncomfortable truth most men refuse to accept fully. Now let me show you exactly how this plays out in real life. Same guy, same place, same girl, but two completely different outcomes. First time, you walk into a bar on a Friday night. Music is loud, lights are dim, and she notices you instantly. You approach, smile, and start talking, trying to keep things interesting. You ask questions, crack jokes, and carefully watch every reaction she gives. At first, she responds, but something feels slightly off beneath the surface. You talk more, trying to recover, thinking better words will fix everything. But her energy fades, her responses shorten, and she slowly disconnects. Nothing obvious happened, but attraction quietly disappeared right in front of you. Now rewind the exact same moment. Same bar, same girl, same setting. This time you approach without trying to impress or control the outcome. You speak slower, pause naturally, and let silence exist without pressure. You say something simple, even slightly playful, without needing validation back. She leans in, asks questions, and starts investing energy into you. The conversation flows easier, not because of words, but your presence changed. Same sentences, same environment, but a completely different emotional signal transmitted. And that signal is what her radar locked onto from the beginning. So if your presence changes everything, your body becomes the first signal. Before you even speak, your posture already tells her how to read you. Most men lean forward slightly, chasing reactions without realizing what it signals. That small movement communicates interest imbalance and hidden need for approval instantly. Now picture the opposite. You sit back, grounded and completely at ease. You are not performing, not adjusting, not trying to control her perception. And that shift alone changes how your value is perceived subconsciously. Research shows posture influences hormonal response and perceived confidence in social interactions. Open, relaxed positioning lowers cortisol and increases perceived dominance without forced effort. But this is not about faking confidence through body language tricks. It is about removing tension so your natural state becomes visible clearly. Because forced confidence always leaks, and the radar detects that inconsistency immediately. Another mistake is staying when energy drops, hoping things will recover somehow. High-value behavior means you are willing to disengage without hesitation or fear. So once your presence is aligned, your words must stop sabotaging you. Because even relaxed body language can be undone by the wrong talking patterns. This is where the 50-30-20 conversation formula becomes extremely powerful. 50% focused on her, 30 on environment, 20 on yourself. Not as a rule to follow, but a signal of emotional positioning. When you talk mostly about yourself, you reveal a need for validation. That instantly lowers perceived value, no matter how impressive your stories sound. Instead, shift your attention toward her experiences, her thoughts, her emotional world. Ask simple questions, but listen like you are genuinely curious about answers. This creates investment because people value conversations where they feel understood deeply. Then allow random observations about the environment to enter naturally without pressure. It keeps the interaction light, unpredictable, and removes performance expectations completely. And when you do speak about yourself, keep it brief and slightly playful. Never try to impress, because trying already signals you need approval. So once your conversation shifts, the next trap is how you reveal yourself. Because this is where most men accidentally destroy attraction without noticing it. You get asked simple questions and you answer with too much information. Where do you work? What do you do? What are your plans exactly? And you respond with full details, thinking honesty builds connection faster. But what it actually does is remove all curiosity from the interaction instantly. Mystery is not about lying. It is about controlling the pace of information. Instead of answering directly, you slow things down and keep some distance. You respond playfully, slightly vague, and leave room for her imagination. For example, she asks what you are doing this weekend casually. You smile and say something fun, but you cannot tell her yet. That small shift creates tension, and tension keeps attention locked in longer. Another powerful tactic is making fun of yourself instead of impressing constantly. Self-amusement shows confidence because you are not protecting your image anymore. And when you combine mystery with playfulness, something unexpected starts happening. And this is where the dynamic begins to flip in ways most men miss. Because the moment you stop chasing, her attention starts moving toward you. Not because you changed tactics, but because your emotional state shifted completely. You are no longer trying to win, you are simply experiencing the moment. That removes pressure, and pressure is what usually pushes attraction away fast. She begins asking more questions, trying to understand what makes you different. And without noticing it, she starts investing energy into the interaction herself. Psychology calls this the investment principle. Effort increases perceived value over time. So the more she invests, the more she convinces herself you matter more. And just when you think you understand this shift, something unexpected appears suddenly. And right when things seem to work, she suddenly pulls back without warning. Her tone shifts, responses get shorter, and the energy feels completely different. She might act distracted, uninterested, or even challenge you directly out of nowhere. Most men panic here, thinking they said something wrong or ruined everything already. So they try harder, talk more, and unknowingly confirm the lowest position again. But this is not rejection. It is something far more important happening instead. It is a test designed to expose whether your confidence is actually real, and one wrong reaction can reset everything back to the beginning instantly. So the truth is, attraction was never about what you say at all. It has always been about the position you hold in that moment. Every action, every pause, every reaction either builds or destroys that position. And once you understand this, everything about dating starts to change fast. Because you stop chasing approval and start controlling your internal state instead. The real question now is not whether she will like you or not. It is whether you can hold your frame when it actually matters most.